Hi guys, and welcome to A Dog Soul. Today we're going to talk about avoiding other dogs with a reactive dog. Is that useful? When is it useful? Should we do it at all? I'm Anita, I'm a professional dog trainer. I show you how to build a trusting relationship with your dog to overcome fear and reactivity and have a good time together again. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe. And now stay tuned and have fun. Alright, so I specialize in fear and reactivity. And that's why I see this question pop up a lot. And my answer to that is really quite simple. If we are new at training our dog's reactivity towards other dogs or towards people or whatever, then yes, avoidance definitely makes sense because we can get a foot in the door with training when we decrease the stress level as much as we can before we start training. And avoiding situations our dog cannot handle until he is able to and until he has the skills he needs is definitely something we can do to decrease the stress level. Now, what do I mean with avoidance? It can look very differently for every single dog. So, for some dogs, it might be that we just need to walk in another direction as soon as we see another dog or as soon as we reach some kind of threshold. So, for example, our dog is fine with another dog 10 feet away, but our dog is not fine with a dog 6 feet away. And that would mean we turn in another direction when we are 10 feet away. Okay? That would be a very short distance, I know. But sometimes when I meet a team, they are already at such a short distance. So that can still mean that taking a break is very useful for them. So I would definitely start with that. And the reason why we do need a break from reactivity is that whatever we train all the time, we get better and better and better at. It's like a muscle. And if our dogs train reactivity all the time, they get better at that. And they will react more securely. So they will feel better reacting. And we actually don't want that. We want our dogs to increase their toolbox and have a lot of other strategies to deal with certain situations, to deal with other dogs, to deal with people, to deal with anything they are not yet fine with. Okay? And another thing I like about avoiding in the beginning is that when we have a reactive dog on leash for quite some time, the relationship changes. We change. Our perception of the dog changes. Sometimes it's just when we expect our dog to show aggression all the time, it does something to us. And of course, we start reacting to the other dog, subconsciously at least, with some kind of bodily reactions, right? So we start sweating, we start increasing our pulse, we start getting tense, all those things. And to take a step back and just enjoy our time with our dogs is such an amazing thing for the relationship. And This is something I would always recommend, especially when the reactivity has been going on for quite some time. And when we are too focused on the reactivity, and when we are constantly watching out for other dogs or for whatever trigger it is for our dog, we can't really focus on things that are just fun, like fulfilling some kind of need for our dog or for ourselves. And that's when I recommend doing sniffing walks or search games or other games, whatever is fun for the dog and for you. And those are also the walks we can use to introduce new techniques, new signals, new cues to our dog that we can later use in any kind of dog-on-dog encounter. Okay? Because we need a stress-free environment for new things so that learning is as easy as possible. And we cannot train new signals or new cues when the dog is already escalating on leash, right? That's why this is such a great thing. And sometimes we need to be a little creative when it comes to avoiding encounters. And that's when we need to pick another time to walk our dog. So we have to break out of our routines, or pick another route, or pick a route that we usually wouldn't pick, like not walking in the green areas around our living environment, but choosing more city-like streets with less green and less attractive to other dog owners. It's most of the time still very interesting for our dogs because people walk there and it smells interesting. Maybe there is a supermarket and a grocery store and whatever. So the dog can have a very intense sniffing experience, but you don't meet other dogs. So this can be a really good option. Or it might mean that you have to drive somewhere to really be able to relax. Sometimes we have made a connection to a specific place so that this place automatically triggers an increase in our stress level and we expect reactivity. And if that's around our living area and on every walk we can take, then sometimes we need a change of scenery. And that can happen for our dogs as well, of course. They can connect every environment with something, like we can. And that's when doing something completely different can help a lot. But, and yes, there is a but to all of this, because if we get stuck in avoidance, we actually don't learn anything. Not only our dogs have to learn stuff, we do as well. We have to counter condition our dogs as well as ourselves, so we do not react to other dogs anymore. We are fine with seeing another dog. Because what I see all the time is owners that have a very intense reaction to other dogs. They go, a dog! Instead of, hey, great, a dog, we can train. And to change that connection, we have to go into the situation. Of course, with enough distance, so we really can give ourselves time to change that. And of course, give our dogs time to change that. And I would pick the distance always depending on which one of you is having more issues with the situation. So whoever reacts first gets to pick the distance, right? And when it's time to go from avoiding to training is absolutely your choice. Some people are fine avoiding their whole life and the dog doesn't need other dogs anyway. Then everything's fine, stay on avoidance. But if you want to change something, or if your dog is actually friendly and likes other dogs, then you have to come back to training at some point. And this is something that takes courage sometimes, because we have horror scenarios in our heads sometimes, and taking the step from complete avoidance to at least start training at a very far distance and in a very easy situation is really hard when we are expecting something horrible to happen, right? And that's when also meditation can help. We can change our mindset and what we expect in certain situations with meditating about them. That's not my specialty, so I would always recommend getting somebody on board who does specialize in meditation and things like that. But you can also just try it out yourself. It's nothing that can make things worse very easily. So if you're curious and you want to try it, just try it. And of course, we cannot ask our dogs to meditate, but we have our emotional transfer. And if we are calm in a situation, our dogs will notice. And that doesn't mean that they will instantly be calm themselves, but they will notice a difference in their human. And combined with the right distance and training and skills to be able to deal with situations they are uncomfortable with, it can have amazing results. That said, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, let me know. Write me an email. I will get back to them, of course. And I wish you an amazing time with your dog, with taking a break, and with training. Until next time. Bye.